Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. Today in this video, I'm going to be talking all about alpacas and everything you need to know if you're thinking about getting one of these amazing and cute little animals. Be sure to subscribe to my channel for more alpaca videos and just more animal videos in general. Quick shout out to the sponsor of today's video, Amore Handmade. Amore makes amazing, beautiful handmade dog collars, and if you go and buy one of these dog collars, you are actually supporting Indigenous female artists. So be sure to use my coupon link down below. Check out the dog collars for yourself, and don't forget, again, to use the code when you make a purchase. So here with me today doing this video that will helpfully help you decide if alpacas are the right fit for you is Camilo and Eclipse. I got into alpacas and llamas because I actually take in a lot of exotic rescue animals, and that's kind of what I'm known for now. So a few years ago, actually several years ago now, someone contacted me and asked if I would be willing to take in alpacas. And I didn't know anything about them, but I was like, yeah, sure, I'll figure it out. And I loved them. So I originally got 4 rescues, and then from there I got my llama, my first llama, and then later as it went on, I got a lot more alpacas and 2 more llamas. So to me, I think the first most important thing to understand about alpacas, if you're thinking about getting one, is that you actually can't have just one. You have to have at least 3. And so I'm not going to go into this video about why 3 is the magic number. They are herd animals, and it's kind of a whole nother topic to go into reasons why it's 3. But basically, they are herd animals. 2 is really the absolute minimum, but 3 makes a herd. And one alpaca should never, behave. And one alpaca should never be by itself. And that is one of the things I often see with people that really like alpacas and they want to get one as a pet, a baby alpaca, and put it in their backyard and keep it, but that just doesn't work. And you can't just get one, so it's really important that if you are considering them, to understand that you will need at least 3. Now, the only thing that can be a companion for an alpaca is another alpaca or a llama. They are very closely related and have been bred to live amongst each other for many, many years, thousands of years. Now, other animals like sheep, dogs, horses, whatever it is that you can think of, goats, those are not companions for alpacas. They need another alpaca or a llama. And so it's really important to understand it has to be 3 of those types of animals. I know I hear a lot of people wanting to just say like, oh, it'll live with my sheep, they'll be fine. It won't be. That's not a companion for them. And I think if you really are interested and care about these amazing animals, then you also need to understand that the animal should be kept happy. And so you will see people who have, an alpaca living with 2 goats. So don't be like that. Those are just people who have proven that they do not care about doing research when getting an animal. Now, the next really important thing to also understand is that those 3 animals that you get, the 3 alpacas you start off with, have to be either all boys or all girls. And so that's really important too, because you can't keep males and females together. So I'm going to explain the reason for that. You are just being so pushy today. What, huh? So the reason for that is that females are induced ovulators. They do not have a heat cycle. What that means is that your alpaca doesn't have like a breeding season or a time of the month when they're going to get pregnant. They get pregnant when they're around a male. When they're being bred, an egg actually drops, and that's how they're able to get pregnant. Now, even if you do want to breed your alpacas, you actually can't keep the male with them 24/7. And this is because the male will breed them continuously. So over time, your females will start to get infections, UTIs, and even have miscarriages because of the constant breeding. So then you might be considering, well, what about a male that's fixed, that's castrated, neutered, can't have babies? Well, that actually doesn't work because males can't be castrated, or, well, really shouldn't be castrated until they are 2 years old, which they are sexually mature at that time. and breeding could already become a habit for them. This actually has to do with keeping your alpacas healthy and the way that alpacas grow. So that's kind of, again, another topic, but just so that you understand that it's females with females, males with males, and the same thing with llamas. So even if you have a group of females, you could have 2 female alpacas and 1 female llama with them. Now, the next question I see a lot too is, can I get a baby alpaca? So the answer to that is no. No ethical breeder will sell you a baby alpaca. And if you do happen to find somebody who is willing to sell you a baby alpaca, they're either completely ignorant to the species or they're really just in it for the money. Baby alpacas do stay with their mothers for 6 months to a year, and it's really important that they do stay with their herd. Even babies who their mother died or their mother rejected them, the owners will still keep them around other alpacas because it is so important to their development. So it's important for them to be able to socialize and learn from the herd. Now, that doesn't always happen, and sometimes people really don't care about what's in the best interest of the animal. And so you will see instances in which this advice was not followed. And the problem that arises is that alpacas and llamas can actually become incredibly aggressive if they're actually raised by humans their entire life from when they're little. There's problems with their development and other things like that. I think it's called berserker syndrome in llamas. But yeah, so that is definitely not something that you would want to have to deal with, and it would also be probably heartbreaking for the owner to have an animal that's very, very friendly that suddenly turns very aggressive. All right, next thing, alpacas need to be sheared every year. That's a must. So alpacas don't shed. They actually just grow their hair and grow their hair until it gets shaved off. So once a year they need to get sheared, and that is in the springtime at the beginning of summer. So over here in America, we shear April, and then I don't know, in New Zealand and Australia, I think they shear like in October or November. I'm not 100% sure. But basically, it doesn't matter where you are, they have to be sheared. So even if you live in a cooler climate, this gets really, really hot. So they do need to be sheared, and they can suffer from heat stroke and just really also the weight of the fur too. So that's something that is a must, and it can be expensive. You can do it yourself, but it is a lot of work. The machines and everything are expensive. So I would recommend just hiring somebody to shear your alpacas. It's a lot easier. They know what they're doing, and they can make sure that the animal and the people don't get hurt during shearing. My shearer is Tom Morrison, and he actually travels throughout much of the southern United States. So I will leave his information underneath this video. He actually goes to New Zealand during our winter, your guys' summer, if you're watching from over there. So even if you're in another country, you can actually see if he would be able to help you with that. As far as housing them goes, they're actually very easy animals to fence in. The problem is actually keeping predators out. So something like a basic 4-foot fence will actually be fine for alpacas. Not even anything really too sturdy, because honestly, alpacas do not challenge fences. And when I'm talking about this, I'm talking about livestock in general, so not something super flimsy, but when it comes to livestock, they are, I think, some of the easiest animals to fence in. Cows, goats, they constantly push on fences and really check to see where a vulnerable spot is. Alpacas, not so much. But you do need to think about predators. So keeping predators out is the more difficult thing when it comes to owning them. Predators can be anything from wolves and coyotes to just dogs, neighborhood dogs, the neighbors' dogs. Some people don't keep their animals in their yards. Most importantly, never use electric fences with alpacas. These guys are silly animals and they will end up hurt. So if it's a perimeter fence outside the fence that they're gonna come in contact with, that's okay, but not something that they're gonna come in contact with. You will end up with one of them hurt. As far as shelters go, if you're somewhere south, then something just to keep the sun, rain off of them is fine. Further up north, then you probably want to have a little bit more shelter for them, something that's more insulated. One of the really neat things about alpacas, probably one of the best features about them as far as livestock goes, is that they actually use what's called a communal restroom, meaning that they go potty all in one spot. So they won't just poop and pee where they're eating or sleeping, they actually have a restroom. And if you place their poop in a certain area, then they'll probably use that as their restroom. And then sometimes because of that, you can keep them from pooping in barns and stuff, or have a designated spot in the barn where they can poop. And as far as food goes, alpacas live off of grass and hay, grass hay. So things like Bermuda, Timothy grass, Tiffany grass, that's all really good for them. They can have alfalfa, but only in small amounts, so it's not something that they should be living off of. You can give them grains and things like that for the minerals that they might be missing from the hay. And hay should really be available for them 24/7. These animals don't really overeat. I think some individuals can, but in general, they're actually pretty good. Cows will just sit there and eat their food till it's gone. In my experience with the alpacas, they will just eat what they need. So that is the basics, and I will be doing more alpaca videos, so be sure to leave your questions down below if you have any. I do have a lot of other information about alpacas, like why it's not alpaca, even though everybody in the United States says that. So yeah, just let me know what else you would like to know about these animals. I'll be doing more training videos and things like that in the future. So be sure to subscribe, and you can also follow me on Instagram and Facebook to see more of these little cuties. And I'll see you guys next time. Bye.